Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and in today's video we'll be doing more updates for patch 8.3. But in this video I also want to include the music that will be heard in the new raid of Nereid for patch 8.3. So hopefully you guys enjoy it and hopefully it gets you in the mood, because today we'll be talking about a couple things like Shadowlands popping up on everybody's WoW launcher. First things first, yes, if you check your World of Warcraft launcher and you did pre-purchase Shadowlands in one way or another, any version, now you should be able to see Shadowlands on your launcher. This overall is exciting and doesn't really say a lot, but there's a lot of guesses we could have in terms of what this might mean. We are hoping to get some more Shadowlands information, and it's most likely than not we will get more Shadowlands as soon as we are done with the bulk of patch 8.3. First of all, we'll wait for patch 8.3 to go live, and then we might see some early alpha, early beta stuff happening for the expansion of Shadowlands, but the sooner the better, as I feel like I'm not the only one that's excited about this upcoming expansion. Blizzard also made some adjustments to Asura Gear in terms of how much it'll cost on patch 8.3, and it looks like they are tuning the numbers down to something more sane, so the numbers all have dropped down. I don't have any information for you guys in terms of how much chalk or Azurite Residium to buy this Asura Gear we're going to be getting in Season 3, but usually if you do at least a 10 Mythic Plus queue for the week, generally you should get enough Azurite Residium for 2 pieces of heroic item level Azurite gear. So take that what you will. I do want to get a character on PTR to test this to make sure the numbers are proper in case Blizzard decided to change stuff, but I'll be able to do that for this upcoming Tuesday. And yes, you cannot go on PTR and scrap any of your current Azurite gear to see if it gives you anything. So it seems any gear for Season 3 is going to be basically whatever gear you end up getting is whatever gear you get. Also, a reminder, all the Azurite Residium that you save up for Season 3 is not going to be transferable for Season 4. So stockpiling that stuff early is not going to be useful. So if you want to buy some Azurite gear right now, try out a bunch of different builds, maybe try a different spec of your class, now would be a perfect time to do it. Recently I've been hanging out a little bit on BTR, checking out some of the basic events, and one of the things that I've noticed that Blizzard changed on BTR is the catch-up gear. The catch-up gear now is not only 400 item level, but can be anywhere between 410 and 415. So if you're someone who's trying to catch up a bunch of alts with Azurite gear, then the new zones, or the redos for the zones of the Veil as well as Old Dumb, are going to be the best places for you guys to sit in and hang around in if you want to get a bunch of alts up and running. The gear that comes with the 410s and 415s, whether it's Azurite gear or not, is actually pretty lame. I was hoping that even the blues for Azurites would have more traits for you to choose from, but it seems that it's going to be the most basic gear possible. So you're not really going to be getting this gear and doing massive amount of damage in your character. But the item level upgrade is actually quite nice. And if you're someone who wants to skip Benthics completely, I would suggest that the item levels on these pieces of loot are going to be a lot better than going for Benthics. With some of the changes for the next tier of the new raid of Nereid, Blizzard decided to do one buff for one class so far out of a flurry of various buffs and nerfs, mostly done for the raid environment of the brand new patch. Now, Disc Priests are going to be nerfed a little bit in terms of the amount of damage they can do and healing through Atonement. If you weren't aware how Discipline Priests play, every beneficial spell that heals an ally puts up an Atonement buff on a friendly target. When your ally has a buff of Atonement, any damage that the priest does to anybody will also heal the target with Atonement for a percentage of the damage done. That means that Discipline Priests can put up a buff on a bunch of allies with a simple mana efficient spell and start blowing up the boss while also doing an insane amount of AoE healing. So with Blizzard nerfing the potency of that healing, the Atonement, and therefore the damage value for what a Disc Priest brings for the new raid, they did increase the healing of Penance. Now I doubt that this is going to make Discipline Priests all of a sudden some of the better healers in the game, but overall, when it comes to throughput, Discipline Priests are really good at doing damage while healing allies on the side. This makes him probably one of the better healers when it comes to raid, healing massive groups of allies, but in a 5-man group, sometimes in Mythic Plus, Your tank might get slapped around for quite a bit of damage, the DPS might drop critically low, and that damage to healing combo on a small group of allies is just not that great. Overall, these sprites don't have the most throughput in their healing if they actually want to heal. They kind of do this wombo of healing and damage a little bit here and there with some absorbs on the side and have powerful cooldowns. But this healing extra for penance, if anything, might be a little bit nicer, although if you want to try some synergies with other talents to make your priest more heal based than damage based, it's still not going to be enough. Either way, a decent buff for disc race, but nothing major. Patch 8.3 also got a brand new Gladiator mount, and if you guys were wondering, well, maybe this is the season to get into PvP and try to score for Gladiator, they got yet another Proto Drake with slightly different armor. Yeah, so this is going to be mostly a reskin of the original one, but I gotta give him a break. This one looks actually really cool. I like how it's covered with these rusted metal bits, and it very much reminds me of the first Gladiator mount for Battle for Azeroth. Either way, looks pretty good and pretty exciting for Season 4. That's going to be just about everything we have for patch 8.3, but it does make me wonder with Shadowlands popping up on the home screen, even though Shadowlands is so far away. I do wonder if Blizzard is going to be using that as a way to kind of get the hype going. It feels like there's always a little bit of information getting put out by Blizzard themselves when it comes to Shadowlands, just very little bit. Just enough to keep the idea of Shadowlands in the back of your mind and almost always thinking about it. Or maybe that's just me, but I mean, honestly, who isn't excited about Shadowlands? I'm very much hoping they reveal a little bit more, even if they just talk about stuff instead of showing us stuff. Last time Blizzard talked a little bit in a magazine about some of the abilities that Death Knights will be able to get from their Covenants, and I would really like to see what rogues might be able to get, particularly with the Covenant of Ventir, the vampire-looking dudes. Either way, very excited about Shadowlands. It looks so good. I love what they did with the Skybox originally with Shadowlands for the cinematic, and honestly, I just get super excited to be done with BFA and get into the new chapter of World of Warcraft, especially with all the different changes coming in the next expansion. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see all of you guys in another video.